Hello everyone, my name is Greg and I dev stuff. Welcome everyone to the episode 8 of Yakuza-like game in Unity. In this episode we will introduce a menu system for our game. This episode is brought to you by generous support of people on Patreon and members on YouTube. If you want to join them, a link to my Patreon in the description and join button available right now on YouTube. Let me start by letting you know that I updated my Unity to be 2021 version, which is available right now. If you see difference in the interface, this is why, but this tutorial is supposed to be compatible with previous version of Unity. Today we want to introduce a menu system which will be easily expandable later on in the future. This menu will allow us to access the sub-menus like our inventory or quest menu or progression system or whatever else. Create a panel for this menu. Create 3 buttons: Inventory, Quest and Continue button. Then place them under another panel, so we will be able to easily hide and show them. Parent this panel to the menu panel. Now I want to introduce a way to open the menu. Let's add menu pause action to the player control scheme. Open player input and allocate the pause menu button. Hide the menu panel on the scene. Select the player and create another new script called Menu Panel Manager. Inside we will be opening and closing the menu. Need to create a serialized field for the panel, which will be our menu panel and player input, so we will be able to interact with them. Then in update, check for the menu input. If it is true, call open menu, where we will set the panel to be true. If we launch the game now, it will show the panel, but we can't close it. So instead of setting the panel to be active, we will be inversing the state of the panel being active in the hierarchy. So now, if the panel is inactive, it will become active. If it is active, it will become inactive. So let's set up our menu. We can use Unity action in the bottom component. So what we want to do is to set the menu panel to be inactive. If we launch the game right now, there will be an issue. We can't click on the menu, because our mouse pointer is confined and hidden when we are exploring, and we are not showing the pointer after we open the menu. So what we want to do, when the menu is opening, we want to set the pointer to be active, and when we are closing the menu, we want to set it inactive. Select the menu panel to create another new script called menu pointer. Inside on enable, activate the pointer, and on disable the pointer, or hide it. Now if I close the menu by pressing continue, it will hide the pointer. Meanwhile, if I close the menu by pressing escape, it will stay. Don't worry, this is okay, because this is Unity in the editor function. So it is done that if you press escape in the Unity, it will unlock the mouse, so you can stop the game or control it from the editor. In the compiled game, this shouldn't be a problem. Now I want to set other two buttons to show and hide panels, which later on will have the inventory and quests. Create two new panels and hide the button panel and show the newly created panels. Good. Now we can navigate the menu using mouse. Before we continue, let's make it so the camera will stop working and you can't move around while the menu is open. To do this, we need to disable Cinemachine input provider on the camera and locomotion on the character. And when we open menu, it should disable the control. Good. But if I open it back, it will not enable them back to active state. So let's move this process of enabling and disabling the control to the new component called control block on the menu panel. Where if the object is enabled, we disable the control. If not, we enable them back. Good. Right now this setup will work with mouse and keyboard well, but how can you make this work on the controller? We will be discussing this in the next episode where we will be implementing the inventory. Good, this is it for this episode. If you have any questions or any ideas about code, please leave your comment below. If you're interested in seeing what will come out of this, please subscribe. If you want to support further, you can find my Patreon in the description. Special thank you to Andrew V. Long for his generous support. With best regards, see you in the next episode.